Thank you. I will be telling the application of space science technology for the student, mainly considering the students. So these are the glimpses. Why I have shown these glimpses? Because that space domain is a very vast field. It requires many disciplines. So students whosoever is studying, whatever they are studying any stream of science, physics, chemistry, maths, etc. They all these are having application. In engineering, may not it's not only electronics, computer, or mechanical. Even structure engineering is also applicable for this purpose. So whatever whether you are performing extraordinary or you are even a this average student, don't worry, you will be able to do the space related work. So as a space is having vast area, and with my subsequent presentation you will come to a lot of application in almost all fields: botanical, agriculture, soil, chemistry, and many fields. These are the stalwarts of the ISROs. Our earlier ISRO was under this thing. Dr. Homi Bhabha was the under Atomic Energy Commission, and our first chairman was Vikram Sarabhai. This question was asked. Subsequently, Shastri Dhuan was our chairman, and then missile man, past President Abdul Kalam. Also, these are four pillars of the ISRO, by whose effort the ISRO has come up to this stage, and we are able to support the common man. Why we should watch through space? Satellite is like a third eye in space. It can see large area of Earth from distance. We can see the large area. We can observe the Earth silently in day and night. There is no effect of rain and any disaster like earthquake, flood, rain, or snow on spacecraft. So we can watch always the Earth. We can communicate in any condition. What is a satellite? Is any which moves around us. Any object which moves around the Earth is called satellite, or any planet it moves, it is called satellite. Two types of satellites: natural satellites like moon, and artificial satellite like we make INSAT, GSAT, IRS, and Intelsat ETCs. So this is the view of India taken from the remote sensing satellite. Indian satellites are in space are about, there are 40 satellites in orbiting.
I think Jain sir, you can cut these slides because already had been explained by earlier speakers, so that you can save time and straight away go to the
major applications area are resource monitoring, infrastructure planning, enabling weather forecasting, disaster management support, location-based services, whose societal application including demands of satellite communication. They involve the field. Agriculture, forestry, environment, water resource, urban and rural planning, asset mapping, mineral prospecting, ocean resource, meteorological satellite communication, location-based services, tele-education, telemedicine. So I will be talking about this application in subsequent slides. These are the communication satellites which are used right from INSAT 3G, GSAT, navigation satellite, RNSS, etc. And these are picture of the mostly Earth observation satellite, which gives the pictures. They are carto satellite, ocean satellite, and many resource satellite, many satellites for Earth observation. And apart from the two communication and Earth observation satellites, we are having a space science mission. Right now, Mr. Chintamani has told we were having Chandrayaan, Mars orbiting. These are actually scientific satellite which provide the information for the future for exploring the planets. So in fact he told there is in the future there will be spices from the other planets also will be available. So like in the Chandrayaan 1 we have explored the water molecules. For Chandrayaan 2 Mars orbiting mission we have explored about the minerals, etc. So there are some scientific experiment by each satellite we are doing, and in near future we are also having this human space mission also. What ISRO is doing for the India's common man, bringing social and economical transformation and improvement of life for common man. and identified about 170 projects where the space technology can be used. There are numbers of applications for students, scientists, engineers, for common men. Few important applications which I will be telling about: the tele-education, telemedicine, communication, navigation, NAVIC and India GPS, crop forecasting, cartography, river linking, weather, weather monitoring, disaster management support, monitoring pre and post information, weather monitoring, etc. These I will be covering. This is the first communication experiment satellite. INSAT 1 was Ford Aerospace developed for us. That was also multi-purpose satellite, which is having telecommunication application, broadcasting, meteorological, and TV broadcasting also. So this launching as well as satellite both were provided by the foreign country. Now, subsequently, we were having INSAT 2 series satellites, in which with part of the things we have made it, and subsequently INSAT 3 satellite with launching at the satellite, both were fabricated as per our requirement, and many more new applications were developed. Somebody asked yesterday question, what is VSAT? Very small, this is the VSAT application, is very small satellite terminals, direct to home services, mobile satellite service. Somebody asked what is the BSS, broadcast satellite, that is broadcast satellite. Meteorological satellite, this provide the weather data. So apart from this, our own satellite application, we provide the satellite support to others also, like HELAS and WWM. Why we are India should have own satellite? Because this orbit location is very valuable. If we do not use our Indian satellite location for observing satellite to India, that's then we have to, then somebody else will put the satellite. We will not have a slot. Yesterday Joshi has seen there are several satellites. So we should have our own communication as well as geostationary satellite. In particular location which is favorable to the country, like 82 degree, 83 degree, 93.5 degree for IRNS, etc. is 110 degree. These orbit slots are fixed for the application based. This showing this is in 1980 to 90 we were having the Apple INSAT 1 series satellite, as I told you. Then subsequently we were having INSAT 2 series, which is rigorously indigenized series, and INSAT subsequently INSAT 3, 4, GSAT 8. These were launching as well as the satellite, both were fabricated by us indigenously, and they have provided direct to home services, TV program directly from satellite using small dishes antenna, telemedicine connecting the patient in remote village to doctors and especially special hospital, tele-education and audio visual presentation subject for studio using VSAT terminals, radio broadcasting, carries high fidelity program channels through satellites, and subsequently from 2010 to 2010 we were having IRNS series, navigation satellite series, and this GSAT 9, which is having higher capability, higher bandwidth, etc., and much more advanced missions. So we have made satellite in so this shows the particular application, like INSAT application of INSAT and GSAT satellite. About 13 satellites provided 200 transponders to the country. This VSAT with terminals is having application in banking, hospitals, ATMs, stock exchanges, DTS, direct to home broadcast. Many TV operators are using the satellite services to providing the channels to home. And the societal application, as I told you, the satellite is being educational satellite is dedicatedly used for education. Telemedicine is also being VSAT terminals are connected to hospitals for laboratories and other hospital. The advanced satellites provided this multi-band satellite. This provided apart from our applications, civilian applications, GSAT is having UHF bandwidth, supports the Navy also. Like GSAT 6 is having unfurlable antenna. This is the latest technology. This is a critical application of satellites. Satellites are in many bands: C band, KU band, VSAT kind of application, DTH system. So this I have just listed. I will not go to details who has launched or this thing. This I am just showing the different type of band application like S band, KU band, VSAT. So my idea of showing this thing, we have a lot of satellites in Indian satellites in different band for different application. Some satellite are for navigation application. So this was showing just for this thing. These are the satellite Satcom application equipment. This is one of the very important which instrument which mostly fishermen or boats carry while going to seas. They carry it whenever any emergency can, they just press the button and then the signal goes to the further this thing shore to save them. And this instrument is so versatile, even if it goes and sea, it doesn't have lost communication. Its battery is also long. Like Antarctica mission, we were doing some scientific application. Yesterday, Mr. Vastu shows the solar eclipse measurement. Like for SMS vehicle tracking, this satellite is being used. Automatic weather data collection platform. Mobile application satellite provide the mobile application to the places where the neither tower or any connections is available. Tsunami system warning. This is emergency emergency communication terminal. They can be used during the disaster. So many such type of instruments we have developed. In the first application, we have mass communication application of the world was carried out in 75, 76. About 2,400 remote villages were given an instruction program in the field of education, teachers training, family planning. This is our first director, Professor Yaspal. He has been great contribution in educational field also. So for we carried out about 2,400 villages. Based on this, subsequently our INSET series was developed and STEP program was also held to provide that, to get the education, how the network is connected, how the terminals are. So such type of philosophy right from our satellite application we are doing right from 1975, 76 onwards to the very higher level. So this showing the village resource this thing terminals. These are the village resource kind of application where this we are having nodal network, etc., and which get about 4,400 programs were telecasted. This training is being done, panchayat planning is done under the village resource from tele-education, telemedicine. These are the example which satellites communication. This is communication satellites can help. This is marketing infrastructure for agriculture, drinking water support, watershed development, etc. This is the network connection. This is the EduSat, which by many terminals, by many way it can control. It can directly, it will have different type of classrooms, and it can provide the services through audio-visual medium, implying digital interactive classroom, multimedia centric, sustainable distance education to school, college, and higher level. Similarly, INSAT and GSAT series of satellite with VSAT are being used for video conferencing, and the data of the patient goes to the via satellite to the health centers. A panel of doctors discuss the provide the advice. This also can be used during the disaster. Also, mobile vans is shifted to disaster. Telemedicine facilities is provided to the patient during to that place. This is the what contribution during the television we did. About 4,700 interactive classroom were developed. We have provided about 55,000 receive-only terminals we have established it, and more than 1 million pupils were benefited by the tele-education in 26 states and 3 unitary. In telemedicine, we have about 380 hospital networks were connected, and about 322 remote rural districts were connected to the 60 specialist hospitals. Tele-education initiated by IGNOU in India, video classroom have been developed. Education via satellite is being used by many educational institutes. Students in different cities, countries can listen to same expert lectures at the same time. Many universities are using the system of the tele-education, the education satellite teaching and classroom and receive only terminals and interactive, both type of classroom we have given the education. Another example is the teacher is training, if signal is uplinking, and these are interacting by a teacher, and here only students of the villages are being, this we did it by the education to get an expert in the telemedicine, to get the expert opinions of the doctor through satellite-based system within no time, any part of the world is possible, to get the best treatment diagnosis through telemedicine project. Many corporate and big government hospital have got this facility, still facilities running. And during COVID, we have taken, many of us has taken the advance of teleconsultation. And last month, and in the month of July, our ISI has also organized a webinar on telemedicine, about which a lot of information were shared, and a good experienced doctors have discussed about this thing, and for the futuristic things also. Mobile telemedicine terminals for remote location. This is one of unreached man can use this highest telemedicine facilities by the consulting specialist video conferencing by the means of satellites. So about 250 hospitals with 180 district rural hospitals and 45 hospitals have been connected by telemedicine via satellite. Example of this, another telemedicine, when during the flood, we have sent the mobile bed in Koshi river floods affected person, and they have consulted the doctors through satellites, and a lot of persons got benefited. The radio signals signals from radio station. All radio stations are connected through a satellite to get a good quality signals. Okay. Same news or program can be broadcast from all stations at the same time. Satellite radio is a new concept, can be used in any remote location. Radio sets get signal directly from satellite, more channels, it's a more clear voice is possible. Easy communication, landline phone for audio communication, all exchange are connected with satellite. Voice quality is very good, no time delay, immediate action is possible. Very call charges are low. Satellite phone can be used at remote location. This is the special application, remote location where the towers and cables cannot be utilized, like sea, mountain, forest, etc. This can be used by army as well as also terrorist. Mobile phones, the multi-purpose system, I think everybody knows this thing, I will not go through. TV cable TV through antenna cables, see recorded live tape program through actual site of different channels, direct to home services, which I have already showed. And many the service provider, DD, Tata Sky, Airtel, with one studio, they from satellite using a small dish antenna, one can receive the program at any places, enjoy hundreds of channels, a lot of program. Text message can be faxed instantly. Newspaper printing is one of the core application. It can, one newspaper can be published from the many location, and transportation of any tape, etc. is not required. News gathering, this is one of the important application. News are transmitted immediately through satellite from any location. OB vans, flyover terminals are used collect to broadcast the news immediately from the spot. Earlier days, news used to be delayed because of transportation of recorded tapes from one place to another place. Now it is not delayed. This is one of the news gathering. It from India Goat, it is sending the news. Disseminating internet use, send data from another place to entire world. Data transfer depends on the speed. And now we have got GSAT 11 type satellite, which can provide a 116 Gbps throughput, and it is having K and KU band. As the frequency goes higher, we get we can have more bandwidth, and speed also can be achieved higher speed. So no use of storing the data in hard disk, downloading the picture and fill up a few seconds only. Emergency and disaster communication warning like cyclone, tsunami to assist the fishermen in advance. Communication from the earth hit to the flood affected area. These terminals can be using satellite as a normal and land-based communication fields when during disasters. Early warning system have been installed in coastal area to boat and sub weathers about sea boats, about sea weathers. Warning of any kind like cyclone, tsunami, etc. is conveyed to the people living in coastal areas. Fishermen is sent through the audio SMS signal. This is the equipment which I have discussed. We have developed, and it is being used in the bulk. Millions of these equipments have been used to save the fishers' life in the coastal area. Networking office is done by the video conferencing. Thousands of VSAT networks are employed. By satellite, we can access to all ATMs, banks are connected through main server transaction, immediately balance status, money withdrawal, transfer fund, money possible. This satellite provides the help in the railway, airline, bus booking, etc. by the providing the network. Video conference during COVID-19, many platforms have become popular. It is good knowledge. It is this video conference is good knowledge for sharing worldwide. At conventional classrooms, captured culture is getting obsoleted, and most of the classes are now running by the video conferences online. Most of the libraries are interconnected by exchange data. Vessel shift location monitoring, it is the one position message service. Vessels monitoring terminals are mounted on the ships. It sends position and alert message to hub station. Location of ships based on the computer skill. And in the vessel monitoring system is established in July. It is part of monitoring, control and surveillance level. So satellite technology is widely used in navigation. Only 5 countries have this satellite navigation application. I'm explaining. Navigation is used to find the location, route, position, etc. India has recently developed its own satellite navigation system using satellite. It's called Desi GPS or Navix. Yeah, here this is a constellation of complete constellation by April 2008. These are our navigation satellite. This is providing the GPS information as well as the for navigational purpose. They are GSAT 8, 10, 15. They are geostationary satellite, and they are the GPS kind of satellite, low Earth orbiting satellite. Together, they are providing the satellite navigation. Our own Indian, this is GPS. An indigenous navigation system consists of 7 satellites for providing the positional navigation timing services on Indian region, and the resolution is about 10 meters for this thing, and our coverage is around 1500 kilometers beyond Indian territory. Similarly, GSAT 10, 12, 15 are providing that this data for the airport for the navigational purposes, and this has been approved by this thing. Jointly implement this project is jointly by ISRO and Airport Authority of India, and a vertical aircraft guidance, a 1.0 aircraft landing has been established. GPS general application is railway track, buses, aircraft, helicopter, and dual etc. for location and route finding. Mobile for finding location routes, Google Map, etc. We can find the location anything like temple, petrol pump, hotels, college. Why we should have own this thing during the war, etc. The other GPS services internationally may not be helpful or they may misguide it. So we should have our own indigenous GPS. This is the considering this thing, our GPS was developed, or that should also maintain our requirement of our terrain. Couriers are for these are the general GPS, and this is one of the core application of Navic in railway to find the location of the running trains and generate the emergency message. When the trains are on the same track, it generates the emergency message. To blow the siren and giving indication near the unmanned level crossing. This is the example of unmanned level crossing. There is no this thing gate, etc. So this where the through satellite chips gets activated below the horn, and this horn blows till that train crosses. So this provides the Indian rail navigation system is under development. It will be adopted soon. Application of satellite for remote sensing and earth observation. Now I will be covering. So our earth observation applications are is a very vibrant. The space segment consists constellation of satellite resources of cartography and ocean. So it is mixed. Like for the land and water resources, we are having resource set and microwave images and land uses, land covers, water resource management. These are the application. Crops, acreage, production, horticulture, inventory, plantation crops, forest crops. So this such type of satellites for remote resource management provide such type of application. They help the men for this thing. And for infrastructure development, we are using satellites. This thing. So India is having all type of features. This thing. We are providing urban master plan, 3D city model, cartography and large scale is mapping by the cartographic satellite. Another type of satellites are like megatropic, OceanSat, InSat 3D, etc. So they are providing potentially fishery zone information, oceanic state forecast, cloud penetration mapping, weather forecasting, cyclone prediction, and tracking. So they are providing basically such type of satellites are providing environmental monitoring at atmospheric research parameters. India as a present have very strong capability to observe Earth through satellite. About 11 operational and remote sensing satellite which cover provide the information in less than 1 kilometer for a spatial resolution, and they are having optical to microwave capability. So these are that our versatile Earth observation program. Land resources, as I told you, cartographic application, atmospheric oceanic information by OceanSat and Sat3 and cartographic information, and land resources information by resource. All sites of satellite, about there are more than 15 satellites are there, including 2 meteorological satellites, which observe the Earth 24/7 class. So they provide the rural and urban land, agriculture, land, fields, soil, forest, mountain, river, ocean, glacier, environmental movement of vehicles, etc. 24/7 by all these satellites is provided. For in the field of agriculture, we monitor the crop production forecast, agriculture drought, horticulture development. All these applications are developed, are used. For the forest covers, forest fire, wetland inventory, biodiversity, etc. When I in the beginning I told we are our scientific applications are enormous. So we are having right from agriculture, forest, ocean, meteorologically, water resources, rural development, urban. So all type of scientists and engineers, technicians, and many even social and economical with an economist background people can be used. Water resources, information, command area, irrigation, reservoir capacity, irrigation, all these information we use to get from the satellite data for rural development, national drinking water missions, waste lane mapping, all this urban development, master planning of the towns are developed, urban information is provided. So all this is being done by the Earth observing satellite. This is a typical view of our Earth observation. This is camera here. It provides the data, and it is this is a typical picture for IRS, OceanSat, Cartosat, and a general picture of this thing, remote thing. Agriculture for crop monitoring, we do monitoring of crops, estimation of the crop rate production, fine decision of crops. Software gives the images of characteristic comparison. So various type of application, we do lot of things for the crops monitoring, vegetation development. This is kind of maps we used to get where the greenery and this thing. So by this such type of graphs, satellite provides it. This provides the heat wave information by the Kalpana set. And study of forest, we do wetland, coastal wetland, forest vegetation, coral reef, all this. They are our multidisciplinary field. And forest fire by satellite we found in Uttarakhand. This is the flow of air, the fire is going rise in the direction. So this maps give the idea where the disaster happens. Water supply providing compressor water input to surface and groundwater, steady of rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. is possible, overflowing or so such type of application, study of sea wind, navigational channels, sea temperature, fish monitoring. So all is possible by the satellite, Earth observing satellite like OceanSat, etc. Weather forecasting is done normally by the Kalpana set or InSat 3D. This provide the minimum maximum temperature, rainfall, soil moisture, air and water flow, glaciers information by weather and climate. And this is kind of map we got for the weather prediction. This satellite data, this weather information is provided through TV and newspaper, or the dust star, maximum minimum temperature, satellite. I think everybody looks for this data whenever the weather is changing, it is raining also. Prediction of cyclone. Cyclone causes loss of property, lives every year. India suffers 4 to 5 cyclones. These cyclones are associated with a rainfall. So this all information is provided by this is kind of a map taken during the cyclones. This here the cyclone is getting developed. So such type of photographs, images This is taken from the this thing Kalpana, this thing. This is a cartographic satellite typical example which provides the land resources that are land monitoring, development of plan. Accurate land mapping is possible. Earlier we used to do, that was not accurate. Some maps of the cartography are taken. Maps are earlier days not accurate. Present day maps are prepared by using satellite. They are very accurate, and we can see the way one square feet area. This is even buildings, etc. Location of all are clearly seen by this cartographic. Now disaster support. We can have the information through satellite, whether what is the earthquake impact, building collapse, landslide, flood, tsunami. All these are the disaster support we are providing. Satellite helps in providing such information during the need. We cannot control the disaster, like the damage assessment, landfall prediction, early warning, mapping of hazardous zone, etc. Forest fire detection. These are all related to disaster. So with our satellite ground terminals and inputs through this networking, etc., we can do all the information in entire country can be held. Of course, disasters. India is prone for many natural disasters like flood, cyclone, forest. A satellite provides the observation for this satellite. So our planner, our ministry, etc., can take decision in advance. And we follow our very geo portals like Bhuvan, National Database Management, Emergency Community. We are having our own portals for administrative purpose. So we can do the preparedness and early warning and response in real time is possible during this thing. This is the figure of the in 2/3. We have particular years. We have in floods for 10 states and 19 maps were provided. And cyclone in 3 states. We have 3 cyclones. These are the disasters information we provided. During landslide in 2 states, we 5,250 disasters were identified in Karnataka. During the forest fire, 38,900 active fire locations were identified in the country. So this identifying itself helped. This is the location where the floods and cyclones in 2008 were observed with satellite. These are images. This is during the cyclone. Inset image with SCATSAT during Titli monsoon, affected area in Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. These are the different places we have used. And during the COVID-19 also, ISRO makes an attempt to study various impacts of lockdown. What is the atmospheric parameter and water department could carry out various studies in different states. So this is the map where we carried out the studies and provided the data. And this data is loaded geospatial technology on Bhuvan's geo portal and deployed by NRS. Then for COVID-19, we also provided some data. This is during the flood, landslide damages, flood induction, and this thing. Then during the Kedarnath landslide, it's the river Mandakani. This photograph they provided the used satellite are used in the disaster. RISAT microwave imaging and IRS optical images were used for induction mapping on near time and real time basis. We used to get this thing. Disaster warning. DWs are installed in coastal area to alert the fishermen and other about the cyclone tsunami. Numbers of human lives and movable property is set based on the advanced information. These are some maps of the floods taken by the satellites. I will not go into detail. Just for your imagination, where is the landslide take place, somewhere floods occur. So such information we used to get accurate information. Weather prediction is covered to public through TV newspaper. It tells about the rain, cloud, dust storm maximum, and early flood warning information, floods, seasonal floods, occasional floods. So such information is integrated and provide the information and this prediction of coastal erosion. On an average, every year 1,600 lives are lost, along with a financial loss of 1,805 crore due to floods and environment and ecosystem. Space science and technology cannot help in stopping the disaster, but can surely help in its prediction, alert, communication, and damaging the assessment. We cannot stop the disaster at least, but we can provide the correct prediction and help the damage assessment. We can establish the communication network also. So this is the role of the role for our satellite application for common man. It helps the safety of the pupil and property, warning of any kind like cyclone, tsunami, etc. Conveyed to the pupil living in coastal areas. Fishermen is sent through audio and SMS signal. A large number of ISRO scientists are working with other R&D labs, university, etc. to make use of such space technology in an effective way. ISRO has got an approved disaster management program. So now I conclude my presentation. ISRO is having vast application in communication as well as Earth observation and also in many scientific mission. So I expect that a student should generate their curiosity in almost all fields. Whosoever has having interest in whatever field, they can work on in space and application side or in fabrication or hardware side, etc. They can do. So thank you very much. Okay.